Hello everyone, very good evening and welcome to Sri TV Primetime News. I'm Akash Vasanta Pivituru. Let's look at the headline tonight first.
I'm not a puppet of a China to dance to the tunes of the West, Mahinda Rajapaksa said. Sri Lankan terror suspect deported from Malaysia. Ranil issues red notice to the KP.
President Mahinda Rajapaksa has expressed concern over the developing hostage situation in Sydney, Australia.
In a Twitter message to Australian Prime Minister Tony Abbott, the President said he is deeply disturbed about the hostage situation in Sydney. Several people have been taken hostage by the least one armed man at Lind Cafe in the centre of Sydney as people arrived to work Monday morning. President Rajapaksa, expressing solidarity with Australia, said Sri Lanka stands united with Australia in fighting terrorism.
Maithripala Sirisena says Katnayaka International Airport would be closed down after 11 p.m. on 8th of January.
Our victory is proved. Member of Mahinda Rajapaksa regime robbed people's money are scheduled to leave this island. They are responsible for people's money. We never grant opportunity towards India to safeguard these leaders. At present, he was fear over the defeat and compare his political career with saloon. Now entire ministers leave the government. I would like to say one thing. People of this country are well aware of President's activities.
United National Party leader Ranil Wickremesinghe has put former LTTE Chief Arms Procurer Kumaran Padmanathan on notice saying a United National Party government will take legal action against him.
Responding to a question posed by this journalist on Twitter, Wickremesinghe said that normal legal channels will be used to deal with KP if the UNP come to power. KP is wanted in India over the murder of former Indian Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi, and the UNP has been consistently questioning the freedom given to the KP by the government here despite all the allegations remaining against him name. A UNP government will explore these allegations through the normal legal channels in the country, the UNP leader said.
The United National Party is failed to face upcoming presidential election, says UVA Provincial Council member Tissa Kutia Arache.
He expressed this regard held a media conference in Colombo this morning. He will never support common opposition candidate Maithripala Sirisena for upcoming presidential election. However, when the UVA Provincial Council is start up its works next year, that time he cross over the ruling party and he will support President Mahinda Rajapaksa to make victory upcoming presidential election.
Senior human rights activist SV says due to silence of LTTE movement leading presidential candidates failed to propose their planning on Tamil communities.
Sri Lanka scheduled to hold presidential election on 8th of January 2015. People should take part in the voting. If not, it will create Mahinda and Maithripala are not only the candidate, there are much more candidates. Speaking to media political program, senior human rights activists noted 2015 would be the year of historical change.
ජාතික සංඝ සම්මේලනයේ හැටියට යම් සම්මුතියකට එළඹුණා පොදු අපේක්ෂකයා හැටියට ඉදිරිපත් වෙලා ඉන්න මෛත්‍රීපාල.
The National Sangha Council arrived at a decision together with common opposition candidate Maithripala Sirisena. I state to the media that we have decided to pledge our support to common opposition candidate Maithripala Sirisena at the upcoming presidential elections.
මේ වෙනකොට තීන්දුව කර තියෙන බව මේ වෙලාවේදී අපි මාධ්‍යයට ප්‍රකාශ කර සිටිනවා.
ඇමති ගෝල්ලන්ට ෆයිල් දාලා තියෙනවා.
They have compiled files on all ministers. Some Buddhist monks have been suppressed to the means of precepts of Buddhism. Over the past few days, we repeatedly saw through the media how these were carried out. It is quite distasteful. The National Sangha Council is planning to host a Mahasangha convention. However, we were not granted permission to use the stadium we wanted to. I had to go to every urban council around Colombo today to get this stadium. But not a single place granted me the authorization. They refused to grant us permission, saying no matter what we say, they have received orders from the top, saying these locations have already been booked and nothing can be done. This is how far the executive powers have taken effect in the country.
Daddy, තිගැස්මකට ලක් වෙලා බීතියට පත් වෙලා ඉන්නවා මට මේ මොකද්ද දෙයනේ උනේ කියලා අපේ හිතපු ලේකම්තුමා.
The former secretary has gotten afraid of what has happened to him. He is to give his powers to Ranil the day after he is elected. He will fall into the state of President Vijay Tunga. We know what will happen to them when they fall into such a position. What will happen to his entourage? What will happen to MKD S. Gunawardena? He needs to be prepared to be president just for namesake when he is appointed. Neither the JHU nor Fonseca will be happy about it.
මේකට හෙළ උරුමය කැමතිත් නැහැ. මේකට පොන්සේකා කැමතිත් නැහැ.
The president always addresses the Bandaranayakas with respect. He was the creator of the party. When the children left the party, it was the mother who protected it.
The Muslims are not pleased over some matters. I believe that the president will have discussions to resolve them.
ඕනෑම ප්‍රශ්නයකදී විශේෂයෙන් මුස්ලිම් ප්‍රජාවට තියෙන ප්‍රශ්නේ වලට විසඳුම් හොයන්න ඉදිරියට ආපු කෙනෙක්. මගේ දේශපාලනය කවදාවත් වේදිකාවට සීමා වූ දේශපාලනයක් නෙවෙයි.
Sri Lankan Tamil politicians and Member of Parliament Sinathambi Yogeshwaran has said the Tamil National Alliance and amalgamation of Tamil parties will announce by this month end its stand on the January 8th presidential election, the Hindu newspaper report today.
Talking to reporters in Rameshwaram Saturday, Yogeshwaram, who was in the Tamil Nadu to attend a conference organized by the Hindu Makkal Katchi, said the TNA wanted to keep the cards close to its chest as it did not want its decision to influence the outcome of the election. He said that as both President Mahinda Rajapaksa, who is seeking third term in Maithripala Sirisena, joint opposition candidate, were anti-Tamils, and the TNA would take the stand after a candidate released their manifestos.
The Sri Lankan President Mahinda Rajapaksa, while addressing at his election public meeting at Matara, Thalava area, has said only the perfect politician of our nation has to dance to the tunes of the Western countries.
Adding further to the above statement, Mahinda Rajapaksa also said, "I am not a puppet on a chain to dance to suit to the tunes of the Western nations. We all of us have to be gathered together to defeat the puppet politicians presently, who are dancing to suit to the tunes of the Western countries. We should retain the victory that has been brought by the war. We have to maintain the stability in the country by maintaining our hard-earned victory through the battle."
President Mahinda Rajapaksa says that government employees were provided with motorcycles, not hoping for votes but for ensuring an efficient public service to the people.
The president said so while participating at a people's rally held at the public stadium in Kadugannawa yesterday. Meanwhile, yet another people's rally was held at Gampola, where the president participated.
Common candidate Maithripala Sirisena stated that a land fraud is taking place in the country.
Addressing a meeting held in Kotmale yesterday, he stated that certain government ministers and MPs are giving away land at low prices for foreign investors.
4 fallacious houses which belong to the Sri Lankan President Mahinda Rajapaksa and owned by his family members were found out at the United States of America.
Further to the above information, Mahinda's brothers, Minister Basil Rajapaksa and the Defence Secretary Gotabaya Rajapaksa and his family members were having their dual citizenship in America. For them at the United States of America in the year 2007, they were having only 2 houses under their names. Subsequent to this, according to the information, now they are having 4 houses.
The Students' Unions of Sri Jayewardenepura University says a crisis situation has emerged after its administration decided to remove the inmates from the 2 girls' hostel. A Sri Lankan man on the death row was pardoned by the father of a young Saudi man run over by the expatriate in Saudi Arabia, foreign media reported today. Media about the landslide victim residing in the Punagala Tamil Mahavidyalaya says at present officials have stopped supplying foods to us and let the god turn his eyes towards east. 2 Indian nationals have been arrested for violating visa regulations and engaging in trading activities, the police media unit said. Police personnel carried out brutal attacks against Uma Bhati, member of the Chennai Dravid Freedom Movement, for celebrating the birthday of Prabhakaran.
Several people have been taken hostage by at least one armed man at a Lind cafe in Sydney, Australia.
At least one gunman has taken several people hostage at a cafe in the centre of the Australian city of Sydney. Pictures on Australian television have shown at least 3 people with their hands up against a window, and a black flag with Arabic writing. Hundreds of armed police have sealed off the normally busy Martin Place in Sydney's central business district. Australian Prime Minister Tony Abbott has described the incident as deeply concerning. All Australians should be reassured that our law enforcement and security agencies are well trained and equipped and are responding in a thorough and professional manner, he said in a statement. A National Security Committee of Cabinet had been convened for Monday morning, the PM's office said.
Japan's ruling coalition has won a new 2/3 majority in parliamentary elections and has referendum on Prime Minister Shinzo Abe's economic policy.
Japan's Prime Minister Shinzo Abe has said he is dissolving parliament and calling an early election, 2 years ahead of schedule. At a news briefing, he said he was also delaying a planned but unpopular increase in sales tax. Mr. Abe was elected 2 years ago with an ambitious plan to revive the economy, but has struggled to do so. His popularity has fallen, but he is expected to win the election, which is likely to take place in December.
Hong Kong police have begun clearing the last remaining pro-democracy protest site after the main camp was dismantled last week.
I hope that protesters still occupying the roads can respect the rule of law and end the occupation. I hope social order can be restored. As a professional law enforcement department, police have a responsibility to maintain the peace and to protect public safety and public order. That's our duty.
Police say they'll only use force if they're obstructed by protesters or if protesters refuse to leave. They've called on the protesters to cooperate and to avoid unnecessary confrontation. The whole area will be cordoned off during the operation. Authorities have ordered roads in the area be cleared as quickly as possible.
Kumar Sangakkara played his last ODI in Kandy before the ODI retirement Saturday against England. Sangakkara scored his 20th century and named as the man of the match for his contribution with the bat.
You know it's your last game in Kandy. This is where I grew up. I went to school here, played all my formative years of cricket here. So it's great to be able to come back and play a final game here. But our plan was basically to win the series, put it to bed here in Kandy, and go without any pressure to Colombo. And we're very happy that we were able to do it. I think it was a great team effort, batting and bowling. It was amazing to have a full house when it's your last game. And a great big thank you to everyone who came, the fans, my family, my friends, my wife, my children, everyone sitting up there, the friends I grew up with since I was 6 years old, friends I made along the way in cricket, everyone to come here, it was very special.
And that's all for the news today. Once again, we will meet at the same time tomorrow. Have a good night.